Shalom, shalom, man. This is Brother Shalimah of WFI Los Angeles coming back at you again with another lesson through the Spirit. Shalom to the brothers out there laboring for this truth, man. Double honors to the elders and apostles that's been doing this thing for many moons and generations. May the Most High continue to be with you and have you endure this thing until the end. Shout out to the Akim out there, new to the faith in this thing for a few years. That's laboring out there, you know what I'm saying, in season, out of season. Mighty shalom to you brothers out there, man. Shalom to the sisters and the little ones out there that's holding it down in their respectful positions in this thing. May Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai bless you and have you to endure this thing until the end, man. Again, man, I'm gonna go into a little quick lesson once more. This one is dealing with, basically just endurance, man. You know what I'm saying? Suffering you in your temptations, man. May the Most High have mercy upon you. We want to endure this thing. We see the prophecies coming to pass. We see what's ahead. We know Jacob's trouble is near. We know race wars is coming. We know civil war is coming. We know all hell is getting ready to break loose. We heard about Russia sending a missile over to Poland. Wasn't really sure if that was the desired location that they wanted to hit. But hey, nonetheless, it killed 2 Polish people. You know what I'm saying? So, and Poland being a part of the EU, man, hey, it's getting ready to go down, man. You know what I'm saying? All praises to the Most High God, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. So, but what persons ought ye to be in this time, right? Matter of fact, let's start with that, man. Going off the Spirit. This is 2 Peter chapter 3. 2 Peter chapter 3, and let's get the book of, let's start at verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up, man. So everything that you see is going to perish, man. From the job that you're going to, you clocking in and day out. You know what I'm saying? From the skating rink you like to go to. You like to go to the little damn boat. Everything is going to, all the elements that you see in this world, in the society, is going to be burnt up with fire, man. You're living in Babylon the Great right now. This place is not going to last much longer. Verse 11, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, man? So that's the question that you should be asking yourself. You should be examining yourself, examining your behavior, examining your thoughts, examining your speech, examining all things, so that you can, again, I believe in first, let me get this precept real fast. I do want to finish in there though, but I'm gonna get this precept real fast. 1 Peter chapter 1 and verse 10, I believe. That's what I want. Or is it 2 Peter? I believe it's 2 Peter. 2 Peter 1 and verse 10. And it reads, wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if you do these things, ye shall never fail. So you want to make your calling in this thing. The Most High haven't called you into the truth, haven't brought you this far into the knowledge of who you are. You want to make your calling and your election sure, man. You want to make sure that you're elected. You look at these damn midterm elections right now. These politicians, as wicked as they are, they're doing everything in their power to make sure that they're elected governors, to make sure that they're elected senates. How much more are you going to make sure that you're elected as the 144,000, man? That you're elected as the 1/3 of the nation of Israel, the ruling people in the kingdom of heaven, man. You need to be damn sure making sure that you elected and you got a position in the kingdom, man. You don't want to be on the outside looking in, man. You don't want to be destroyed here in Babylon the Great, man. So again, you got to make your calling and your election sure. Going back to 2 Peter chapter 3, and I'm gonna get into the lesson. 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 12, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of God, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. Verse 14, wherefore, beloved, seeing that ye look for such things, be diligent that ye may be found of him in peace, without spot and blameless. So again, they use the word diligent, man. You got to be persistent. You got to be on top of your game, man. You got, I mean, look, you got plenty of examples out here to, in the world to look at people and see that man gave diligence. He gave all his life unto playing basketball. The brothers always talk about the Mamba mentality. Look how You know, look how, you know, this dude was just all in as it pertained unto basketball, man. Diligence, man. For, you know, following a schedule, a routine for 20 years. How much more are you gonna do that for the knowledge, you know, wisdom and understanding of the Most High God? How much more, man? You know, because you want to make sure that you without spot and that you blameless in these last days, man. So again, this is about encouraging you to, you know, to endure this thing unto the end, man, and not give in to these damn temptations, man. Not give in to your flesh, right? So let's get this right quick. Let's go to the book of Acts, chapter 14, man, because we got a lot, you know, a lot to deal with, man. You know, it's a lot on the horizon. It's a lot of things coming to this earth. A lot of persecution is coming. You know, they're about to go all in. You know who these people is. Amalek about to go all in. We're trying to hide the truth. We're trying to get you to stop professing who you are as being an Israelite, as being a Jew. You know, but hey, look, we got to stand 10 toes down for the Most High in these last days. 10 toes down, right? It's the book of Acts chapter 14 and verse 22. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of God. Right? So it says, you know, our people were always exhorting one another to continue in the faith, man. And that we must through much tribulation, man. It didn't say a little bit. It didn't say you get to choose, pick and choose how much you want to go through. No, you got to kind of be like David in this thing, man. He's, you know, ask, you know, for a bigger cup. You know, he want more of that affliction. And you got to be like that, man. You got to ask for a bigger cup. Give me another cup of affliction. I'll take mine straight with no chaser, man. That's how you got to be with drinking the cup of affliction. Like Yahushua asked, you know, I believe Zebedee's children, you know, can they drink of the cup that he drank from? And we know about the affliction Yahushua went through. You read about in Isaiah chapter 53, you know, having his beard plucked, you know, being spit upon, you know, being smacked in the face, having a rod, somebody, you know, whipping with the rod, somebody setting scourges upon him, man. You know what I'm saying? He dealt with all type of affliction. Right? And like it say in the book of St. John chapter 50 and verse 20, the servant is not greater than the master, man. Whatever Yahweh went through, we got to go through those same things, man. You know what I'm saying? So again, this is to exhort you, man, not to give in to your temptations. Because look, this is that final hour, man. The temptations are only going to get greater. It's only going to get stronger. You know what I'm saying? So what you need to be doing in this time, you need to be praying more, man. You need to be fasting more. You need to be repenting more. You know, you need to be loving your brother more. You need to be helping your brother more. You know, it's so many things that you can do to elevate your position in these last days, man. You want to be increased in these last days to finish this race. Because, again, that's what it's about, right? Let's get that in the book of Ecclesiastes real fast. Ecclesiastes chapter 9. Let's see if I can get it real fast. Ecclesiastes chapter 9. And I'm going to get verse 11. I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happeneth to them all, right? So, you know, it's about finishing this race, but it's not about how strong you are, right? It's not about how skilled you are, right? It's about time and chance. And right now is your time and chance, man, to get yourself right. If you're hearing this video, or if you know people that's still in this thing and that may be slacking off, they're not doing the same works that they could have done. Hey, you might be that fire that needs to ignite, you know, within them to continue on in this thing, man. Right, let's get the book of Sirach real fast, chapter 2. Sirach chapter 2 and verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation, man. So it's a known thing amongst our people. If you come in to serve the Most High God, Yahweh, hey, look, temptation is going to come. You're going to deal with it. And everybody's temptation is not the same. Somebody might be tempted to go and smoke a blunt. The next person might be tempted to go and commit fornication. The next person might be tempted to go and smite his brother, man. You know, but look, you're going to have to deal with these temptations, and you're going to have to figure it out, man. But the Bible is our blueprint, man. We got examples of men who have dealt with temptations, man. You look at Joseph, man. Joseph was mighty in his temptations and in avoiding dealing with his temptations. You know, it didn't even say that he was tempted by her, but he had a woman pressing him, man, ripping off his garment. And what did Joseph do to avoid committing adultery? He got up out of there, man. Joseph ran with the quickness. That's how you got to be as it pertains to sin, man. I'm going to come back to this in Sirach chapter 2, but I want to get Sirach chapter 21 and verse 2. Flee from sin as from the face of a serpent, for if thou comest too near it, it will bite thee. The teeth thereof are as the teeth of a lion, slaying the souls of men. Right? So you don't want to be that person either that's flirting with your temptations, man. You thinking about it, you meditating on it, it's crossing your mind. You know what I'm saying? It's been 5 minutes and you're thinking about going off, man. You know what I'm saying? That's like, look, you got to change your thoughts. Like it say in the book, hey, Sirach is a mighty, it's a mighty book, man. I got another precept real fast. You got to beat your thoughts into submission, man. That's what you got to do. You got to learn to beat your thoughts into submission. I'm not going past 15 minutes, so I'm stopping at 15. Salakia. But nonetheless, I mean, like it says in the book of Romans chapter 12 and verse 2, you got to renew your mind. You got to renew your mind. You got to know how to tell yourself that's off. You got to know how to rebuke yourself. You know, like read about Yahweh Shai, how he dealt with Satan when Satan came at him. He brought out 3 precepts. Hey, look, Satan gave him one after the first one, I believe. Brought out Psalms 91 on him. You know, but Yahweh Shai dealt with the priest. He stayed in the law. Deuteronomy, stayed in the law, cut Satan. Satan fled after that 3rd precept, man. That's how you got to be in your own thoughts, man, in your own mind. Watch this. Sirach chapter 23 and verse 2. Who will set scourges over my thoughts? So he's asking the question, who's going to set scourges over my thoughts? And the scourge is a whip, man. Like Yahweh Shai got beat with the scourges. So, but look, he's saying symbolically, you got to beat your thoughts. Who's going to set scourges over my thoughts, right? And the discipline of wisdom over mine heart. So you got to have a disciplined mindset, because the heart is dealing with the mind. You got to have a disciplined mind. You know, you cannot flirt with your temptations. You cannot flirt with evil. You can't flirt with wickedness, because like it says, if you just like you dealing with a serpent, a snake, you know, you playing around with the snake, you sticking the snake with the damn stick, eventually that serpent gonna bite your ass, man. Likewise, sin is gonna bite you, and you gonna be feeling all ashamed, man. You gonna be coming to the Most High humble and meek, looking for repentance, you know, looking for forgiveness, right? And who's to say when the Most High is gonna continuously give you, allow you to be forgiven for the same sin, man? So you got to get right now, Israel. You know, you got to get right. That was pretty much it on this one. So I'm gonna go back to Sirach real fast. A couple more precepts. Sirach chapter 2 and verse 1 again. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. So you want to constantly endure this thing, man. You don't want to waver off the smallest thing, man. Anytime you look at our forefathers when they dealt with temptation, when they dealt with distress, when they were put in an uncomfortable, situation, hey, look, they went into the Lord, right? That's what our forefathers did, right? I'm going to get an example of that real fast. And I'm going to get a couple more precepts and I'm closing it out. This is the book of, I want to say 1 Samuel chapter 30, and I'm going to get verse 6. And David was greatly distressed, for the people spake of stoning him, right? So David was in a position where, look, people was talking about killing David, man. People done lost their wives, lost their children, and everybody's blaming David. The average man in this position would have folded. The average man would have not known what to do in this position, right? But David wasn't an average man, right? Let's see how David reacted to being distressed, to being in a situation where he could have possibly gotten put to death. Verse 6 again. And David was greatly distressed, for the people spake of stoning him, because the soul of all the people was grieved, every man for his sons and for his daughters. But David encouraged himself in the Lord his God, right? So David went and encouraged himself in the Most High God. The first thing you need to do when you are, feeling discouragement, you're feeling, temptation coming at you, hey, go pray to the Most High God, man. That temptation, that he sees you through it. right? Because like it says in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter, and I'm going to go back. I'm going to close it out with Sirach chapter 2. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, the Most High will not allow you to go through something that, you know, you can't endure, right? This is 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 13. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man, right? Anything that, you know, any temptation that you're dealing with, man, this is not an uncommon thing, man. Somebody's dealt with it before you. You know, so maybe you need to talk. That's where your brothers come in at. That's where your sisters come in at. Having somebody that you can talk to about things, man, and you can go over precepts. Somebody that can, you know, encourage you in the Lord. You know, persuade you to go into the right direction, get you back on the right path, get you back on fire. This is where the conversations of, you know, with your brothers, man, is gonna come into effect at, right? So again, there hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that you are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it, man. So the Most High is not going to allow you to go through something that you're just not able to handle, man, that you're too weak in. You know what I'm saying? But he's going to allow you to have an escape, you know, but you have to put the necessary efforts in and showing the Most High that you don't want to go off, man, and showing the Most High that you don't want to sin against him, right? So I'm going to close it out, going back to Sirach chapter 2, reading verse 2. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble, right? Cleave unto him, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end, right? So, look, we in that last stretch right now, you know, and look, the wise man, he's not going to burn all his energy in the beginning of the race. If you know you're running for miles and miles, you're going to try to save your best for the last, man, for that last stretch. And we've seen examples of people getting, using all their energy and they don't have nothing left. They run out of gas at the very end. You don't want to be that person, man. You know, so you want to be increased at your last end, right? So I'm going to read these next two verses and I'm going to close it out. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed in a low estate. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Man, so with that, again, brothers and sisters of Israel, y'all stay encouraged, man. Y'all stay faith, stay, faithed up. You know, if that's even, I'm making up my own terminology. You know what I'm saying? Stay in this thing, man. Don't fold under pressure, man. Always call upon Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And like I say in the book of Psalms, chapter 50 and 15, call upon me in the time of trouble, man. So all these things, again, double honors to the elders, mighty shalom to the brothers and sisters and the little ones in this thing, man. Kwam Yasharala.